The Gjemtland family lives together on a large property in the small Norwegian town of Brumunddal. The town on the Lake Mjøsa has only around 11,000 inhabitants. Janne and Janne Jemtland have two sons together, aged 10 and 13. The family had previously lived in France for several years. Janne was a member of the Foreign Legion and worked there as a non-commissioned officer and control officer at a workshop because he is a trained mechanic. In 2010, the family moved back to Norway, to Janne's hometown of Brumunddal. Janne is a member of a motorcycle club there and works as a childminder, while his wife Janne studies economics and management at the nearby university in Gjemtland. The two are happy. One evening they go to a party together and drink alcohol exuberantly. When Janne wakes up the next day, his wife has disappeared without a trace. An investigation begins immediately, and with it, something reveals itself that no one had reckoned with. That could not be more cruel. On December 28th, Janne and Janne Jemtland attend a party together at the Veldram Event Center in Brumunddal. One of their two sons is spending the night at Janne's brother's that evening, leaving the older son at home alone. Before the party, Janne and Janne meet up with a few friends, drink together, and get in the mood for the upcoming party. The two arrive at the Veldram together at around 6:30 p.m. During the evening, both Janne's friends and Janne's friends receive photos of the two of them via Snapchat. It seems that December 28th is a happy evening. Both Janne and Janne are drunk. The mood is exuberant. At around 1:30 a.m., the couple leaves the Veldram together. It's about 8 kilometers from there to their house in Elvestervegen in Veldra, so they decide to take a taxi home. What happened next is unclear. But at 2:15 a.m., Janne and Janne's son, who was home alone, heard a loud bang. "Mom?" he texted Janne, who then sent the message. But Janne Jemtland would never reply to her son's text. On Saturday, December 30th, at 9:30 a.m., the Norwegian police receive a phone call. It is Janne Jemtland, who wants to report his wife Janne as missing because she has not been seen since the party at the Veldram on December 28th. Although the two came home together on the night of December 29th, she was not at home on the morning of December 29th. He tells his two sons that their mother is at training. He sends her several text messages that are not delivered. Janne also contacts other family members, such as Janne's brother Terje, and asks if anyone has heard from Janne. But after the party at the Veldram, there is no trace of the mother of two. The police and Janne agree to wait another day before initiating a search. But when Janne Jemtland is still missing on December 31st, Janne visits the Brumunddal police station to request that a search be initiated. Janne's brother Terje traveled to Brumunddal to support Janne in the search for Janne and to take care of Janne and Janne's two sons. From New Year's Day, a large-scale search was launched for the missing 36-year-old. A mugshot was published. Volunteers also took part in the search, but the search was scaled back after the New Year weekend. It had snowed heavily, and there was still no sign of Janne Jemtland. Janne Jemtland's disappearance has caused quite a stir in Norway. The 36-year-old mother's case soon became one of the most talked about missing persons cases in the Scandinavian country. Not only the investigators, but also Janne's relatives are under great media pressure. Terje and Janne, as uncle and father, try to be there for their two sons, taking them to school and doing things with them. But the question of what happened to their wife and sister constantly hangs over everything. Not only in the media, but also in the small town of Brumunddal. Rumors about the Gjemtland family are soon rife. The couple's behavior at the party at the Veldram is discussed and embellished. There is a rumor that Janne may have left her family deliberately to start a new life. On January 4th, the police received the first useful tip, which gave them hope. A hiker found traces of blood in Fagerlundvägen, about 12 kilometers from the family home. And indeed, tests show that this blood belongs to the missing Janne Jemtland. 2 days later, on January 6th, another hiker finds a second blood trail at the side of a path. The police say there is a considerable amount of blood here. Here, too, an examination proves that the second blood trail also comes from Janne Jemtland. In an interview, her brother Terje says that he is glad that something was found, but the hope of finding Janne alive is fading with each passing day. Large search parties are once again setting out, and are now also combing the fresh snow around the blood site. But neither Janne nor any of her personal belongings can be found. Late in the evening of January 12th, the police held a press conference. There, the officers announced that they had charged Svein Gjemtland with suspicion of murdering his wife, Janne Jemtland. Meanwhile, Janne is still missing. The arrest was made after police found evidence during a search of the couple's property that links Svein to Janne's disappearance. Svein admitted to having something to do with his wife's death, but denied murdering Janne. He then led officers to the missing mother of two. A turn of events that no one had expected. Janne Jemtland is finally found the following Saturday morning. She's recovered dead from the Glomma River in Valère municipality, over 60 kilometers from her hometown. When divers find her at the bottom of the river, she is naked, and her body has been weighed down with car batteries to keep it on the bottom. Although Janne had a gunshot wound to the forehead, the official cause of death was drowning. Janne must have been alive for about 2 to 3 hours after she was shot. She also had bruises and broken ribs. The autopsy confirms the suspicion that Janne did not drown in the Glomma River, but was drowned in a purer body of water and then thrown into the Glomma. When the police examined the bridge directly above the site, they found traces of Janne's blood on the bridge railing. Further traces of her blood were found in a family car, in the drawer of a tractor that the family had owned, and in a third car that Svein was said to have borrowed from an acquaintance in the days following Janne's disappearance. As a result, this acquaintance is also briefly arrested by the police, as the officers suspect that he may be withholding important incriminating information. But he is soon released. Svein, meanwhile, remains in custody. Janne Jemtland is buried in the Valdre Church Cemetery in Brumunddal on January 26th. Several hundred people have come to pay their respects to the deceased mother of two. The alleged murder weapon was not found until May 8th in the Immerslund marker in Wangen. The officers received the tip from Svein Gjemtland himself. He had thrown the 9mm Makarov pistol about 20 meters into the forest. According to the police investigation, the weapon was reported stolen in the Czech Republic in 2007. How exactly the weapon came into the possession of the Gjemtland family remains unclear to this day. At the district court in Hedmarken, charges are brought against Svein Gjemtland in 2018 for the murder of Janne Jemtland. It is undisputed that he shot his wife in the forehead at around 2:15 a.m. on the morning of December 29th and then drowned her. But the question now is whether Svein Gjemtland acted intentionally or shot her by accident. Svein continues to deny in court that he murdered his wife. Rather, he claims that her death was an accident. According to his testimony, Janne and he had an argument after returning from the party. Janne is said to have been angry that Svein had downloaded the dating app Tinder a few days earlier and was drunk at the party. However, Svein says he only downloaded the app out of curiosity, not to actually meet and date someone. Janne, however, is said to have thought that Svein was cheating on her. The argument escalated to the point where she threatened him with the gun, which the couple kept in a drawer in the bedroom, according to Swain. She threw him out of the bedroom and pushed him down the stairs until the two of them finally ended up outside the front door. Swain wanted to defuse the situation and take the gun from his wife. A scuffle broke out in which Janne and Swain fell together and a fatal shot was fired. This shot was also the bang that the 13-year-old son of the Gjemtlands had heard at around 2:15 a.m. Swain testifies that it took him a few moments to understand what had happened. He also claims to have been very drunk that night. He says he blacked out on the way home due to his excessive alcohol consumption. His wife was unresponsive after the shot was fired. He went into the house to call an ambulance, but then he showered and, still in a state of shock, stripped his wife's body and put it in the car. The forensic doctors had determined that Janne had not died until 2 to 3 hours after the shot was fired. This means that if Swain had called an ambulance and Janne had been treated immediately, she might still be alive today. He had removed the bloodstains around the Gjemtland's house and destroyed his wife's cell phone. Janne's cell phone, which was last logged in a cell in the center of Brumunddal at around 5 a.m. on December 29th, was never found. It is possible that further evidence could have been found on it that would have cast doubt on Swain's version of events, because who knows what the two of them wrote to each other or what Janne wrote to her friends. When Swain's son asked where his mother was the next morning, he said, as described at the beginning, that she was at training, while Janne Jemtland was in fact lying in the car. He deliberately placed the two bloodstains found by the hikers on January 4th and 6th along the trail. Why exactly is not known. Perhaps to boycott the investigation or to throw the police off the scent. He claims that throwing his wife over the bridge was an accident. He actually wanted to bury Janne, but at temperatures around -15 degrees Celsius, the ground was frozen. Swain testifies that he only threw his wife over the bridge the day after the crime, although according to the abduction report, she was drowned 2 to 3 hours after being shot in the forehead. This is another indicator that Swain must have drowned his wife first and then thrown her over the bridge into the Glomma. In July 2019, Janne Jemtland is sentenced to 17 years in prison. He decides not to appeal and thus accepts his prison sentence. What remains unclear is why Swain does not reveal further details in court. Why did he make demonstrably untrue statements about the exact circumstances of his wife's death? During the trial, more and more details about the marriage of Janne and Janne Jemtland, but also about Swain's general behavior, are revealed. An accountant testifies that Swain, due to illness, had earned significantly less money than in previous years and had incurred debts, including with his credit card. Meanwhile, Janne had paid several tens of thousands of Norwegian kroner into a secret account while she had resumed her studies. In court, a friend of Janne's testified that the couple had been arguing a lot lately, mostly in French. The prosecution therefore believes that Janne Jemtland had broken up with the marriage and was preparing for a divorce. Some of the party guests at Veldram have also stated that Swain's exuberant party mood changed during the course of the evening. He became serious and wanted to talk to a friend. It is unclear why and what the reason for his change of mood was. Perhaps Janne told him that she wanted to break up with him. Some witnesses also state that, to their knowledge, the gun belonged to Swain, not Janne. Although, according to Swain, she drew the loaded gun on him on the night of the murder and initially threatened him with it. One of the two sons says in his video statement that he had never seen a gun in the bedside drawer. The prosecution also considers it unlikely that the shot could have gone through Janne's forehead as described by Swain during a scuffle. They also say that the handle of the gun was difficult to grasp and that a lot of force would have been needed to pull the trigger. As an explanation as to why Janne Jemtland would have kept a loaded gun in her bedside drawer at all, Swain says that Janne wanted it to hand for self-defense because of her weak joints. But the prosecution also considers this explanation insufficient. The video statement of the older son reveals further details about the night of the murder. He said that he heard his mother shouting, let me go," that night. Then someone fell down the stairs and his mother screamed. This description also fits the injuries Janne had in addition to her gunshot wound. When her son sent the text message to Janne and did not receive a reply, he immediately had the feeling that his father might have harmed his mother. But the child didn't tell the police out of fear. The next day, the son told his little brother that he suspected their father might have killed their mother. The younger son then confronted Swain with this, but he denies everything. The two children have little choice but to believe their father. Consider that these are two boys, aged 10 and 13, whose mother has just disappeared under mysterious circumstances from one day to the next. In fact, it also came out in court that Gjemtland is by no means a blank slate. He was already in prison for 5 months for assault in 1991. At the time, according to the court, he and friends had beaten up a man, presumably for racist reasons. During this time, he was also involved in the far-right scene. His criminal history culminates in the tragic murder of his wife, Janne. Although Swain maintains to this day that her death was an accident, the Norwegian court is certain that Gjemtland deliberately murdered his wife, Janne, because she wanted a divorce. Unfortunately, cases like Janne Jemtland's happen far too often. Femicides happen almost every day in every country, that is, a murder in which the victim is killed because of their sociological role as a woman. In this case, my sympathy goes out especially to the two sons and Janne's brother Terje, who lived with his sister's murderer for almost 2 weeks and supported him without knowing it. It's hard to imagine what this family has been through. If you have watched the video up to this point, thank you for watching, and I would be happy if you would leave a like, comment, and/or subscription. With just a little effort, you can really support the channel and help me to continue producing weekly videos. I would also be interested to know whether you believe that it was a deliberate murder or whether you believe Gjemtland that it was an accident. As always, I look forward to exchanging ideas with you in the comments. Thank you in advance for the subscriptions, comments, likes, or subscriptions on Instagram. And also thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao!